Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to America once again. We're going to return to New York State and we're doing my first beer review from Long Island. So we're going to go to Oceanside today, which is of course home to Barrier Brewing Company. This is going to be my very first one from these guys as well. So for this one we're having a taste of the Tanto IPA, which comes in at 7.1%. This guy should be pretty good. It got a 90 overall on Rate Beer when I checked it out quickly, and this brewery was one that was recommended to me by Balder and Karsten from Kiosk in Copenhagen as well. They always give me pretty damn good beer recommendations. They do a lot of product sampling, should we say, so they always give me some good ones to review for you guys here on the channel. So make sure you check out the link to their shop in the description below, and do head over there if you find yourself in Copenhagen. But it's always cool to review beers from different parts of America because there's so many craft brews over there these days, it's difficult to keep up. So I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. But anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery quickly. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my future reviews that hopefully I can do from Barrier Brewing Company. Very first time I'm trying one of their beers, of course. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel has a geography tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the American beers that I've reviewed for you. It's constantly being added to, of course, and please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys, and the support you give the channel is really appreciated. So don't hesitate to get in touch with Facebook, Twitter, Untappd, whatever you want. Always great to hear from you guys. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Barrier Brewing Company then. So Barrier Brewing Company, as I mentioned to you, are based in Oceanside on Long Island in New York, and they were founded back in 2009 by Evan Klein, who used to work at 6 Point Brewery in Brooklyn, probably one of the most widely available American craft beers you can find in Europe these days actually. But Evan grew up on Long Beach Island, which is a barrier island, and thus this was the inspiration for the brewery's name. So many of the beers actually have names that are related to kind of oceanside living or surfing and things like this, so you will notice that about this brewery. So the brewery was very badly damaged during Hurricane Sandy back in 2012, and it took the company about 3 months to kind of recover from this. But during this time they worked with the Omegang Brewery to build a collaboration beer which was called Barrier Relief Ale, and they say that this really helped them kind of recover a lot faster than they would have been able to normally. I was reading about what happened to the brewery, and they said that they went in, there was about 4 feet of water, a lot of the tanks had been blown over and things like that, and a lot of the ingredients had been destroyed, so they were really in quite a bad state. So to recover in 3 months is pretty impressive, and they said they were very grateful, of course, to Omegang Brewery for helping them stay on their feet. But on site now they actually have a tap room which opened in September 2013, and they've been gradually expanding their capacity and their repertoire of beers ever since. You know, they're quite a prolific brewery actually. There was a blog that I found online, I forget what it was called, but there was a guy who went through and visited this pretty much every time he went to Long Island, and they always had some really new beers for him to try, and you can check that out on Rate Beer as well. They've got a lot of beers listed there, and they all seem to have pretty decent ratings, so I guess this is a brewery you want to check out if you find yourself on Long Island. The blog did say there's about 15 or so breweries on Long Island, but it's probably gone even further since then. There's always new breweries opening in America. There's a stupid number of them these days, and it's very hard to keep up. But yeah, this one should be a really nice one if you find yourself in the area. But that's all you need to know about the brewery for just now. We'll get on to the tasting section of this video. As I say, the links and everything like that are in the description below, so you can check them out if you want. So yeah, there you can see nice artwork on this one actually. I do like these kind of graphic style artworks there. Tanto, I guess, it actually looks more like a kind of knife, and you can see a sort of knife edge of the waves and stuff like that. I do like the artwork on this. It's almost a little bit kind of Hawaiian-esque, if you like. It would look good on a shirt. That there you can see on the back there. A little bit about the beer. It just tells you according to the Surgeon General and all of that thing. The artwork on this one was done by Daniel Birch. This one is a 1 pint, which is an American pint. I think that's like 450 millilitres or something like that. 16 fluid ounces in America. Go and please just use the metric system. It makes so much more sense. It's based on tens, which is what they use in maths, and you know, it just makes so much more sense. Maths is the universal description of everything. So please, just America, you're one of 3 countries in the world that uses the metric system. Please just, or doesn't use the metric system I should say, please just change so it makes sense for everybody else. But yeah, oh, this one's going to be a New England style IPA by the looks of it. But yeah, as you can see, this one is really interesting. It's a really hazy, Very kind of, it's almost like a kind of pineapple juice colour, this one. That looks really, really nice. Yeah, if I hold this up to the light, it really does just look like a kind of tropical fruit juice or something like that. There's a solid finger of a frothy white head on this one. Some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. But overall it looks really nice. I was actually expecting a West Coast IPA. I didn't realise this was going to be an East Coast one, but there's some lovely juicy fruity characters coming out of this. There has to be some citra hop in there. Straight away there's mangoes coming out of this one. Yeah, I think there's some mango in there. There's a little bit of a kind of lemon-limey character as well. It didn't say on the website what hops they used in this, but there's definitely mangoes, and you can smell some of these lighter tropical fruits, like a little bit of gooseberry and lychees. You'd also associate that with the citra, but there is a bit of a lemon-limey character coming out of this one as well. There's a little bit of floral, a kind of floral aromaticity to this one. It does smell just really fruity and juicy. There's a wee bit of an orangey, probably more tangerine kind of thing going on in this one. Maybe there's a little bit of mosaic or something like that in here. Mosaic always gives you that nice tangerine note. But yeah, big and there's a good bit of floral and grassy character. Like I said, oranges, tangerines. Yeah, definitely some mangoes, lemon limes, sort of gooseberries, kind of lychees kind of thing coming out of it as well. Maybe a little bit of there's something that tells me there's a bit of papaya in here as well, but the main thing to take away from the aroma is that it's a big kind of fruit bowl sort of thing. But yeah, it smells really, really nice. Yeah, just take a little bit of time, as I always say, just take a bit of time and mull over the aroma of the beer before you actually get stuck into it. It's just a nice big juice bomb, this one. Underneath you can smell a little bit of a sort of bready and slightly grainy-ish character. You can smell a little bit of that almost that kind of sweetness you often get from the oaty characters when they do the New England IPAs. But this is a really interesting one. Just take a bit of time and enjoy it. As I said, I was actually expecting a West Coast IPA when I picked this one up. I didn't realise it was a New England style. But yeah, it should be really nice regardless. We've got a 90 on rate beer, like I said, but I want to try this one now. So this one is the Tanto from Barrier Brewing Company in Oceanside, Long Island, New York. Slàinte Scaire. Oh yeah, that's a pretty nice beer. Yeah, that's a nice one. It's a little bit more bitter than some of the ones I've come across before. Yeah, that's a nice beer. I love these New England style IPAs actually. This one definitely has a little bit more of a kind of floral, bittery character to it. I do wonder if there's maybe some Chinook or Columbus in there. I think it's more Chinook because you're getting more of that grapefruit flavour. Just behind the front curve of the tongue, I can pick up that kind of dark grapefruity note that is kind of characteristic of Chinook. The hops, as I always say, come out on the edge of your palate. There's a wee tiny little bit of earthiness in the back corner of your palate, but as you come further forward, there's a sort of pine resin just underpinning the beer, and on top of that there's a little bit of a spicy sort of floral aromaticity to this one. But that's really nice. The thing with these New England IPAs is that they cover the booze very well. You know, you could try like a double IPA and then you could go down to the just a pale ale or something like that, and it can be quite difficult to tell the difference with the booziness, I find, because the hops usually cover a lot of it, and the mouthfeel that you get is always that really kind of creamy thing. Usually with the West Coast IPAs, of course, you get more of a caramel boozy sort of thing, but these New England IPAs, to me, it's very difficult to tell the alcohol strength. But that's a really nice beer. So the malt base on this one is what you'd expect. You know, you've got a nice little bit of paleo malt. You can feel that just kind of underpinning the beer, and you've got these kind of oaty, it's almost a little bit creamy. I think I always feel that the mouthfeel you get from these New England IPAs, it does feel as if they've added a little bit of lactose to the beer, but often they don't do that. But it's got that nice kind of oaty sweetness in there. I think there's maybe a little bit of a kind of biscuity character in there too. Right in the middle of my tongue, I'm getting just that little bit of biscuity sweetness, and it comes across really nicely actually. but I do like this beer. And what's interesting about this is it's quite comforting because, I mean, I've tried a lot of these New England IPAs from Stigberg, it's one from Amar, and there's Brewski, of course, and Beerbibliotek are getting on this now in Sweden, and Magic Rock and stuff over in England too. None of the Scottish breweries back home actually have done it. But it is cool to see that these kind of European New England IPAs are up to the same standards as a lot of the American ones. But this is good, and I would recommend you try it. The complexity to this beer though is in the sort of fruitiness that it has. So like I said, fruity characters of this beer always come out behind the very front curve of the tongue, and there I'm getting a lot of the kind of the grapefruity character. You can just feel that little oily bubble where these esters come out. The grapefruit is just underpinning this one, and you start to get more complexity out of it as the flavour goes on. I think there's a bit of tangerine in there, like I was saying. It comes across in a similar way to the aroma, although the complex part of the fruits, I should say, but it does have a lot more grapefruit than you'd expect, and I do suspect really that there is some Chinook in here. But yeah, definitely there is a bit of tangerine character in there. There's some sort of lemon-limey kind of note, but there's a lot of juicy mango as well. I'm pretty sure there's some citra in there. You can pick out just that nice kind of juicy mango note, and then as you get further and further into the aftertaste, you've seen how long it was since I took a sip, I start to get a little bit of that kind of almost limey character coming out of it. There's maybe a wee bit of a kind of sort of gooseberry lychee thing. That's the more complex notes that you get out of the citra hop, I'm sure. It's just something, the citra hop's used so much, you do get to recognise it after a while. But the main point to take away is that this is a really nice beer. The main points that are sticking in the aftertaste of this one, it's that piney resin character and the sort of grapefruit element to it. This one it's a little bit more bitter in the aftertaste than some of the other New England ones I've come across. So in terms of recommending this beer, it really depends on whether you want some of that typical kind of old school West Coast bitterness in a New England IPA. That's probably a good way to sum the flavour up of this beer. It's got a little bit of the slightly newer hop, like kind of fruity complexity to it, but at the same time it kind of gives you some of that typical bitterness that you expect of a big West Coast IPA. So yeah, it's a good mix, this one. They've done a nice job with it. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink this again, given the chance. But I do need to try some of the other beers on offer from this brewery. But that's pretty damn good. Certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again. It's 7.1% as well. It covers the alcohol fairly well, and it is starting to move towards the heavier side of what you'd expect from an IPA. Not quite into the double IPA territory right enough though. But in terms of the mouthfeel, I would say this guy is mid-bodied. Carbonation's pretty soft. It's quite a smooth beer, this one. The mouthfeel is quite oily, but it has a kind of little bit of that almost creamy character that you expect to the New England IPA. The malt base has a little bit of sweetness to it, but the hops really kind of dominate this one. This is quite a bitter New England IPA in my opinion at least. And it's got a good bit of juicy fruity character, particularly in the aftertaste, but like I said, that slightly kind of darker and almost more bitter flavour from the grapefruit is what really kind of dominates the fruity side of this one, and that's what you're getting more in the aftertaste. Pine resins, slightly spicy floral aromaticity, and some of that dark grapefruit. It is a little bit grassy and lighter around the front curve of the tongue, but those are the three elements that are lingering into the aftertaste. But overall, like I said, a really nice example of the New England IPA style. It's got the nice juicy characters you expect, but it's got a little bit more of that kind of classic West Coast bitterness, if you like. But to me, a really, really good beer that I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink again. So yeah, big thumbs up on this one to Barrier Brewing Company. They've done a great job, and I certainly would want to try some of their other beers. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. I hope you've enjoyed my take on this one. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Do let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below if you've tried it before. Let me know what other beers I should try from this brewery. This is the only one I've seen so far. They did have one or two more, but I just picked up a few things from a couple of different breweries when I was in kiosk. But yeah, let me know your favourite ones, and until next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Check out my my social media and things like that, and I will catch you very soon. Please do recommend some other breweries from New York State that I should check out as well. I've not done too many reviews from that area yet, but hopefully that's something I can improve on in the future. But until the next time, Slander just now, and I will catch you very soon. Make sure you check out Barrier Brewing Company from Oceanside on Long Island. Cheers.